got Theranos and WeWork and FTX. We've got all these books about companies that were these spectacular failures or scandals or whatever. Some of them have TV shows, but they have a common thread, and that common thread is the capital that I argue forced them to operate in a certain way, or that they took advantage of, or that was attractive to grifters. I thought the book would be about that. And as I talked to more entrepreneurs, the more interesting story to me was actually the companies that weren't getting funded or that didn't have the natural potential to be venture scale companies, but that were solving a real problem or had a real market to address. And they either couldn't find funding or were being forced by venture capitalists to sort of shapeshift into a model that could look like a venture scale company. And that game about selling and storytelling and all of that was just really interesting to me. And so ultimately the book became about the mismatch of capital in the entrepreneurial ecosystem, where most companies, the vast majority of companies, are not going to be Stripe or OpenAI, but they're good businesses. And why haven't we been able to find a capital model that takes advantage of their natural opportunity? One investor that I profiled is named Bryce Roberts. He runs a fund called Indie VC, and he really identified this math problem. His thesis is there's as much money to be made designing a fund thesis around those sort of missing middle companies as there is to be chasing all the companies that Andreessen Horowitz and Sequoia are actually going to get. Why would I play that game when nobody's over here taking advantage of this set of companies? And so he's got some really cool tools and is doing very well. I'm not asking entrepreneurs to do something for the good of society. I'm not even asking investors to do that. I'm asking them to understand that when capital is misaligned with the business opportunities, you will have fallout to society that doesn't need to happen.